Okay.
Okay, thank you so much for this section. I will apologize for this time. We are very late, but it is a technical problems. So we are going to begin this session. Yeah, dear Professor Felipe Chibas, distinguished speakers, colleagues, researchers, educators, policymakers, representatives of cities and communities. Members, it is my great pleasure and honor to welcome you to this international webinar on Mill Cities, Innovation, Artificial Intelligence, Planet, and Society. Today, we are gathering at a crucial moment in women's history. Artificial intelligence is transforming the way we learn, communicate, work, make decisions, and interact with our communities. This transformation brings extraordinary opportunities, but they also raise important questions about ethics, inclusion, sustainability, women's rights, and the future of our societies. The question before us is not only how intelligence or technology can become, but also how wisely and responsibly we choose to use them. This is why media and information literacy remain more important than ever. Media and information literacy provide the citizen with the knowledge, skills, and value needs to understand information, critically engage with digital technology, participate in democratic life, and contribute to sustainable development. The vision of Mill Cities is deeply connected to this mission, building cities where innovation serves people, where technology supports women development, and where digital transformation contributes to more inclusive, resilient, and sustainable communities. Today's discussion brings together diverse perspectives from researchers, practitioners, educators, innovators, and leaders who share a common commitment, ensuring that artificial intelligence remains women-centered and aligned with the needs of society and planet. I would like to sincerely thank all our speakers, participants, and partners for joining us this important conversation. Your expertise, experience, and contribution will help us imagine and build the cities of tomorrow. Before we begin our discussion, it is my great honor to invite Professor Felipe, the coordinator of Mill Cities Initiative, to share his welcome remarks and provide the broader vision and direction of this global initiative. Professor Felipe, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, dear Professor Emmanuel Comiconaco. Thank you so much to all presents at this important day. Dear friends and colleagues, you are so very welcome in this special session entitled Mile Cities, Reeducating New Hybrid and Physical and Digital Space. We give today excellent keynotes in this panel. Thank you for your presence today and for sharing your knowledge with us. Let me share some ideas. The planet is in danger for many reasons. We got now treat peace and ecology. For example, media and information literacy or mile cities use digital tools, smart systems, and data to create a smart, inclusive urban space. They teach and educate people how to use information safely and wisely. This international webinar unites leaders, speakers, young people too, students, and experts to discuss about this. This is our mission. We need a security at the planet. We need more opportunities and we need, of course, new challenge, new life. This is the principal objective of this webinar. We got opportunities like better civic engagement through digital tools, smart infrastructures for efficient public service, open access to education and innovation, a stronger social inclusion for all groups, like indigenous groups, like Black people groups, and of course the women. Key urban challenge: spread of fast information online, growing digital inequalities, and access groups. These are the challenge, and others, of course. But in these webinars, we got the opportunity to connect global cities leaders and teach experts. We got this opportunity in the practice. That's why are holding these special Mild Cities sessions. The specialists, the experts, you got the floor.
Thank you so much, Professor Felipe, for your welcome word. As you have said, we need the security for our world today. And before I introduce the first speaker, let me introduce her. Dr. Maya Zarik is the head of the Division for International Cooperation and European Integration at the Ministry of Information and Telecommunication of the Republic of Serbia. She leads Serbia's international cooperation and European integration effort in the field of media, digital policy, and telecommunications, fostering partnership with European institutions and international organizations. With extensive experience in public administration and international relations, Dr. Zaria coordinates international projects and supports Serbia's alignment with European standards in media, digital government, and telecommunication. She has represented Serbia at numerous high-level international forums, including the Council of Europe, where she has served as chair of the Bureau of the Stream Community on Media and Information Society. Her area of expertise include international cooperation, European integration, media policy, digital governance, telecommunication, and multilateral diplomacy, with a strong commitment to promoting democratic media, digital innovation, and international collaboration. Dr. Zaria, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. I have to say, I'm still PhD candidate, so I have quite a long way to go, just to be correct. Thank you very much, first of all, for the invitation. It is always a pleasure to share the floor with such an amazing group of people, amazing experts, and it's really, really important to me and to us to have this perspective of other countries, what has been done in the world. I will now share my screen and my presentation.
Yes.
If you see it, and I hope that you do.
Yes. You need
just to put it
to enlarge. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it good?
Yes, very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So good afternoon or good morning. So now it's 4 p.m. in Serbia. So I would say good afternoon from Serbia, from Belgrade. And as I was announced, I work at the Ministry of Information and Telecommunications of the Republic of Serbia. And today I have the pleasure to share our experience moving from AI as purely technological story to AI human-centered one. So let me start with the bigger picture. And in the first box, we see values. So values are enshrined in our policy and our legal framework. So Serbia started in 2019 when we adopted the first strategy for development of AI. And then at 2025, we developed and adopted the second strategy that is now currently lasting until 2030. Also, along with the first strategy, the guidelines on human rights in the field of AI were adopted. And currently, as we speak, Serbia is working on harmonization of the legal framework with European framework. So now we are working on the law on AI. And then from our points of values, we can see that on the other side, we have the delivery. One of the strands of our delivery is joining Digital Europe program, which is one big program of European Union that we joined as associated country in 2023. And through this program, we are developing digital capacities, deployment, and impact. So Serbia's approach has been to build these steps together, not a step by step, but rather than to treat technology separate from the people, so to speak. And we will move to the next slide. So the point is that none of this happens in isolation. So Serbia participates actively in this EU Digital Europe program, and the program itself is built around one core idea, and that is technology serving people. The program started in 2021, and it will last until 2027. The program itself was 8 billion euros, so it's a very large program. That is meant for EU countries as well as the accession countries, and it is built around the pillars that you can see, such as artificial intelligence, AI factories, advanced digital skills, high-performance computing, cybersecurity, and European digital innovation hubs. What it does, this gives us opportunity to access European networks and European funding and a shared standard for AI serving people, which means that we put it to practice. This is a great investment into an AI ecosystem. An ecosystem is not only technology. It's meant to build the skills of people. It's meant to strengthen trust, to foster innovation, and also to strengthen the digital sovereignty. When we talk about bridging vision to life, what we have in Serbia is we have these two layers. The first layer would be the strategic infrastructure. And when we talk about strategic infrastructure, we have all of the structure the Digital Europe program provides, which means National HPC, Serbian AI Factory Antenna, and we do have two EDICs, which is actually European Digital Innovation Hub. And also one EDIC is solely oriented towards AI. And then on the other side, we do have the digital transformation accelerating across businesses, public administration, and research. And so we were talking about the public administration. I, for example, have now to renew my driver's license, and I do it through the e-government system, so online. I actually can have a date and a time when I have my appointment at the police, and this is how I enrolled my kids into the kindergarten 5-6 years ago, and then a couple of years later to school. So it's also the system that we have got our certificates for being vaccinated at the time of COVID. So it's a point of point of contact for every citizen to use all of these services that are benefits of digital transformation. And then from AI infrastructure, we need to actually transition to AI-ready communities. So how do we do that is where media information literacy as one of the key pillars come in. And when we speak about media information and digital literacy, I really think that we are also encompassing in this umbrella notion the AI literacy as well. So this is our step towards having informed citizen and toward building the trusted AI environment. And when we talk about media information literacy in the age of AI, we do see that the understanding of AI is also crucial. So how can we use it? What it means to the environment, the effect that it has on the environment. So maybe people know how to use it, but they are less aware of what it does or how it heats the environment. So then we also need to be very aware of how we evaluate the AI-generated content given in education or in media environment or in other environments, or whether we use it for work. We need to verify the information. We also do need to protect our privacy as well as other people's privacy. So this is very, very important also to recognize the manipulation, the hallucinations the AI tools at times can have. And this all teaches us to participate responsibly towards us and towards other people in the environment. So this is very, very crucial. I would, before closing, say that we also introduced one very important mechanism in Serbia in March, and this is the Standing Working Group on Media and Digital Information Literacy, which means that it is there to stay and to coordinate across the government institutions. So we have line ministries, regulatory bodies, we have public service media, and so on. So every single point where the media information literacy and digital literacy come to overlap. So this is our coordination now that we will use also to communicate to the donor community, to associations, to academia, to NGOs, and so on. And the idea is to actually, a few slides back, come to that trusted environment, because it is a process. It's not one step, it's a process. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of time, and it does take a lot of bureaucracy as well. I would leave you with a few food for thought. So the AI, as we see, is transforming our world, but it actually does provide opportunities for people. So we all need to have more webinars like this to communicate and to exchange our experiences to see how we can use it for the best. And by working together, I think that we can actually have a good governance. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I would say also Dr. Maya, because your communication is very strong. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
What you have shared with us today, from AI to women-centered digital transformation in Serbia, in the world. And you have shown how you process to let people know that AI is not a tool that can direct us. We need to use AI to develop our countries, our societies. Professor Felipe, I'll give you the floor for your comment before you go ahead for the second speaker.
Thank you so much, Professor Emmanuel Komiko-Nako. Thank you so much, dear Maya Sarik. You are very experienced specialist in this era. I remember we met in Belgrade. Wonderful meeting in Belgrade. I agree with you, dear Maya Sarik. We need more webinars like this. We need more education and focal webinars and other events in this point to discuss this point. I agree with you. Of course, we need funding, European funding, but other fundings. For example, for UN fundings, UNESCO fundings for this transformation, because we need infrastructure and educate the professors to the other professors, others expert, and we need to this. We need to change all the city, the vision of all the city. It's not only the problem is not only a physical problem or physical infrastructure. Is the vision, the philosophic vision of the city. We need this change with the policymakers, the educators, artists, yeah, of course, the all the people, all the city, organizations, institutions, the ecosystems, digital ecosystems, needs the other philosophy. It's not only the transparency of the problem. We need the focus in the citizen. Well, I agree with you, and I am very grateful for your presence to us. Thank you so much, dear Maya Sarik.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Professor Felipe, for your comment and your contribution. It is very appreciated. Yeah. Our next speaker, normal will be Mr. Roman, but I have a solicitation, request, special request. Our speaker from Nigeria has technical problem, and we need to give her the floor, because we know in Africa we are facing many problems. So if you want, you allowed me, I will do it. Thank you, Mr. Roma. Yeah, we are going to receive our next speaker from Africa, especially from Nigeria, Mrs. Oyebanke Ura Oyeleya. He is the coordinator of the Center for Applied Ethics and Political Communication in Africa, and a doctoral candidate at the Institute of African Studies, University of Ibadan, Nigeria. A feminist researcher and scholar, her work explores the intersection of gender, ethics, political communication, and African development, with a particular focus on inclusive governments, social justice, and digital societies. Mrs. Ura's research examines how communication, public discourse, and policy shape democratic participation and gender equality across Africa. Through her academic and professional engagement, she contributed to interdisciplinary research, capacity building, and policy dialogue aimed at advancing ethical leadership, civic engagement, equitable development on the continent. Mrs. Oyebanke, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. Quickly.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the time to take off now because of my system. So I want to switch to my phone. So I'm the coordinator for SIPOCOM Africa in short, the full Center for Applied Ethics and Political Communication in Africa. And we have 4 core hands. We are into political communication, gender and sustainable development, media literacy, applied ethics. And through these 4 core intersecting areas, we do research, we train, we advocate, and we network. And that is one of the things we are doing right now, which we appreciate in our center. So for SIPOCOM, we started, let me share my slides so we can follow while I talk. So for SIPOCOM, we started MIHealth for a while now. We've been visiting schools. We actually have We have schools that we use. We have schools that we visit for our monthly media and information literacy. And after doing that for a while, we realized that we need to actually make Ibadan a media literacy city under the mandate of UNESCO, because we don't have anything like that yet in Nigeria. The Abuja that we have, they are still struggling. So now we've inaugurated MIL City in Ibadan. We did that March 26, 2026. And also we had our first stakeholder meeting June 25th this year, also last month. And it was a successful meeting because we're able to bring different sectors together to deliberate and to ask questions that we need in different areas in Ibadan on how we can develop MIL and how we can make Ibadan a media city where everybody knows what they want to click, what they want to do online, and they just don't jump on information, rather they verify things before going ahead to share. So building AI ready communications through media and information literacy, that is Ibadan perspective. Why MIL cities matter? Realize that a lot of informations that are shared online currently are actually out of misinformation, out of no regulation, where people just broadcast things, especially in the recent thing that is currently going on in Nigeria, the case of kidnapping. Recently, there was a misinformation where people circulated the particular information that there is kidnapping going on around Bodija market. Bodija is a market area in Ibadan, and everybody was panicking, moving from one place to another, different things going on online, retweeting, sharing, and things like that, without even verifying where the source of the information is coming from, or who wants to actually stabilize the whole nation because of what is already going on around Ibadan. This caused a lot of chaos. This caused a lot of trouble around the city that people do not even know where to go to or where to move to. However, with our initiative and from what we've gotten during the stakeholder meeting, we realized that we need to actually start implementing AI that are actually chatbots, AI that can actually speak the local dialect. And that means providing indigenous problem and providing indigenous solution to indigenous problem. And how do we do that? We want, through artificial intelligence, we want to create chatbots through one of the sectors in our stakeholders meeting to create chatbots that will actually be localized to speak to these people, especially the market women, the market men, the artisans who do not understand a particular language but have their own local dialect. So aside Yoruba, because Yoruba is the particular language, general language spoken in Ibadan, that is why we want to start with Yoruba first, to test run that and see how far we can go. Also, to do AI-assisted feedback channels for stakeholder meetings. So while we had that meeting, everybody was able to contribute what they intend to do in their various places. For instance, we had representative from local governments, we had representative from other NGOs, health sector in Nigeria, in Ibadan, people from media places. We had like 4 media houses present at the meeting. So we were able to document things that can actually take Ibadan forward from just, consumers, but people who are knowledgeable, who can know when to step up or bring in information that will help people on whatever they want to do online in digital spaces. And how do we want to do this? Through AI facilitators. And also we've been working on facilitated workshops for all sectors using AI powered tools. So aside the schools that we've been going to, we want to actually add business owners, we want to add schools, polytechnics around the city. We want to add University of Ibadan. We already have like one of the sectors coming from University of Ibadan, Students Media and Information Literacy Club. We already partner with them. So we want to actually make this thing a collaboration where they can actually do things through AI. For instance, this Zoom meeting that is going on through AI, so they can actually organize things for students on campus, especially the new intakes, to let them know things and how to use AI facilities on campus. And also AI and data literacy training integrated into curriculum. That is one of our proposals during the stakeholders meeting the last month. We proposed to the local government that there should actually be AI and data literacy studies for the students right from primary schools, so they will already know what AI is about, because it is yet to stay. And if we are saying we want to, wait for a particular thing, or it's going to take jobs, or doing that or do that, then we are not preparing people's mind ahead. We can see content around now where they use a particular student to generate videos. Meanwhile, it's not even the student that is in the video. But if the students are able to detect that these are AI features, they will be able to report to authorities around them. Also, fact-checking training for rumors, AI integrated, AI generated images are spread on social media. One of the things we do now is to also collaborate with houses. Currently, a radio program, which is Before You Click on Diamond FM 101. So what we do weekly is to enlighten listeners on how they can do fact checking, on how they can sense things that are actually misinformation, or things that are actually misleading online, things that are not true. We do this through different channels. We do it on our social media pages, and we circulate all this to students and some of our sectors through the WhatsApp channel. Then partnership with Ibadan media and publishing community to model verification practices. That is one of the proposals during the stakeholder meeting. We propose that there should be a unified body where they can be verification practices of whatever tool that is going to be developed or be used in Ibadan around the local government chairmans. We all know that all of this starts from the top. Once the local chairmen are integrated into this system, when they understand what AI is about or how to use all of these things, then they can bring it to their grassroots. They can take it to their grassroots, rather, enlighten the locals on how to use it for their business, for their areas, the billboards, to enlighten and to do more around the city. Then data protection standard for any AI used in Ibadan public services. That was one of our proposals as well during the stakeholders meeting. And also another thing that we've discovered since we started our media literacy is that digital tools that help informal traders and small enterprises grow. Do I still have time? I was hearing your voice. Okay. Then shared communities platform that strengthen trust across social media, across neighborhoods. People Africa as a research and training anchor for the pilot. So we started this in Ibadan already, and we are doing this in collaboration of Oyo State government as the policy implementation partner. And through our multi-stakeholders steering committee, we've been able to keep people aligned, able to keep people informed in their grassroots and in their various places. And this is not just a personal project alone, but the whole city, it's still a pilot. However, we are hoping UNESCO will come in, they will accept it, and through that, we'll be able to take it to a greater space. Thank you very much for inviting us.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Uyebanke, for your communication. You have shared an important information with us, your project in Ibadan, in your local administration, in your university. And you have implement many projects, and the main is to create chatbot to localize people, let marketers people to know how they can use it, use their own language to share information. Thank you so much for what you have shared with us today. Professor Felipe, I don't know if you have something to share before we go to the next panelist.
Yes. Happily.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Professor. Happily. Is important your point, Ojebanke. I agree with you for in all the points, but we need to develop media and information literacy, but the focus at all the city. You got a very interesting project in the community, right? But we need to expand to all the city and all the stakeholders. Is your project, for example, can be a pilot project of Mill Cities, right? And you can expand, if you want it, of course, to all the city. Your project is a model, is an example You know, the battle against to the of the misinformation in the all the city. Yeah, and the local language is very important. Your point, the identities, the different identities, and media literacy respects the different local language and different identities. We got important to see to talk about the books we got now, Ojibanke, many books, many scientific articles about cities, about this vision of the city. I recommend you to talk with the professor Emmanuel Comiconaco about it, and of course to all the people. And I am at disposal to send for you information, books, scientific articles with this vision, with your vision. Thank you so much, Ojibake.
Thank you so much, Professor Felipe, for your comment. Now we are going to quickly give the floor to our next speaker from Philippines, Mr. Ramon Tuazon. Mr. Ramon Tuazon is a General Secretary of the ASEAN Media Information and Communication Center and a distinguished scholar and leader in media and information literacy, communication research, and media education. With more than 10 years of experience in academia, policy, and international development, he has made significant contribution to advancing media literacy across the Asia Pacific region and beyond. Mr. Toison has co-authored at least more than 5 UNESCO publications on media and information literacy and has led numerous national and regional research, policy, and capacity building initiatives promoting digital citizenship, critical thinking, and responsible media engagement. He has served as project lead for several UNESCO support and regional media and information literacy program, working closely with government, universities, civil society organization, and international partners to strengthen media and information literacy frameworks. Mr. Roman, you have the floor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
First, I'd like to thank the conveners, especially my good friend Felipe, and of
Yes.
course Dr. Konako. I'm very happy to meet again Maya, whom we met in Belgrade years ago, and I'm happy to meet our new friends from Brazil and Nigeria. Let
Yeah.
me go very fast with my presentation. These are my 4 areas. I would start with overall takeaways. Maya ended her presentation with food for thought. I'll start with overall takeaways. Then I'll talk about what are the competencies, AI competencies needed, then the role of universities. If we have time, there's a very important raging issue happening in the Philippines now. It's a case study of the Pax Silica Initiative of America, of the USA. And it's a very classic example of a case on economic development, environmental sustainability, and social cohesion. Why? Because this Pax Silica initiative in the Philippines calls for a creation of an AI hub project in one of the cities in the Philippines. Very interesting findings. I'll go now to my key takeaways. We need AI to win the future. AI is here. No, it's like a genie is out of the bottle. We can no longer put it back. The future of AI is the future of humanity. If we are misguided and short-sighted in AI planning, we risk undermining the future of our humanity. I think this is well explained by Pope Leo in his recent encyclical Magnificat. MIL competencies should inform AI competencies. And this is my take, and I'm not sure if my MIL colleagues here agree with me. In the future, there will be blurring of distinction between AI and MIL competencies. That you can no longer say, this is AI competency, this is MIL competency. I think we're now evolving into a scenario where there is only competency, MIL competency, which covers AI. Finally, one of my takeaways is we are redefining what we mean by information. When I was a student, I remember Shannon's mathematical theory of communication in 1948, which defines information as anything that reduces uncertainty. Now with AI, we have to redefine our understanding of information to include context, interpretation, factuality, which is now very important, and meaning. I will skip this session, but I will share my PowerPoint anyway, and I will go immediately to competencies to thrive in an AI-driven society. These competencies are very important, whether you're working with government, public sector, NGO, civil society, and so on and so forth. I think the first competency that I'd like to highlight is that from data sourcing, generation, and analysis, we are now in the period of sense making. It's not enough to be able to generate information or even to analyze. We have to make sense of what we are able to collect, generate, and analyze. And sense making means providing context, verification, and explanation. Another very important competency, cognitive and creative capacities, especially in today's visual world. We need to have creative competencies, not only understanding or cognitive competencies. And then the issue of factuality. Factuality is now a very important element of MIL and AI literacy, which means verifying correctness and exercising critical judgment. These are all now foundational competencies. I'm also proposing the adoption of information audit as a composite or a group competency. And when I say information audit, everyone should have information audit. What does information audit means? It includes data or information provenance, meaning what is the source of the information? Is it human source or AI? There should be, as I mentioned, information audit should be able to identify factuality and linguistic confidence. Authenticity. Very important in MIL is media and information representation, because this competency will enable us to discern bias and partiality, including algorithmic, cultural, gender, and political bias. One area that we seem to have missed is being able to determine social and behavior change, including persuasion, because of AI. Then, as Maya mentioned earlier, privacy and security is part of information audit, and of course, intellectual property. What are the other competencies? I'll go very fast. Risk assessment, management, and mitigation. Measuring socioeconomic effects or impacts of AI. The UN preliminary report by the independent study of the UN says that it is more and more difficult to measure the socioeconomic effects and impacts of AI, that we should develop new tools, new methodologies for measuring, for monitoring AI. Another competency, it's not enough that we learn inside the classroom, right? We need self-learning and metacognition competencies. Metacognition I define as understanding one's own thinking and learning process. AI makes us independent learners, but we will not learn anything if we don't know how to be self-learners and if we do not know how to engage in metacognition. We need future proofing, being able to adapt, to be resilient, to face of continuing changes, uncertainties, and emerging challenges. So for me, these are the competencies of the AI today. It's not even competencies of the future. There are competencies now. Or it's goodbye to all of us if we don't have these competencies. Let me now go very fast to the role of academic institutions. What we're seeing right now is from a structured, time-bound learning to lifelong learning. I think we all agree with this. And lifelong learning using stackable micro-credentials, right? Micro-credential makes learning more personalized, continuous, and competency-based. Universities of today and the future are like gasoline stations. If you need gasoline, you go to the gasoline station. That's what we need right now. If you need learning, if you need knowledge, go anytime, anywhere in a university, in an academic institution. Earn micro-credentials even before you learn, even before you earn your formal degrees. Rewriting the curriculum and identifying new professions are very important now. What are some of these? AI engineering, prompt engineering, cybersecurity, data science, digital health, computational social science, quantum computing, etc. We ask our universities, are you giving us these skills or you are all obsolete? If you don't give us new skills, you're all obsolete, you better shut down. How can you do this? We cannot wait for 3-4 years of courses. That is why you have to give us micro-credentials, which we can learn in shorter period of time. But there are many other issues about learning. One is, how do you balance technology skills with lessons in the arts, humanities, ethics, and social sciences? If we want to preserve our humanity, we have to continue lessons in the art, humanities, ethics, and social sciences. I think this is what Maha also mentioned about values, starting with values. If you miss the arts, humanities, and ethics, you're just a robot. You're not a human. And then the illusion of competence. Again, the UN preliminary report warned about the illusion of competence. We thought we're competent, but we're not, because effective educational deployment requires evidence-based instructional architecture and the integration of human-centered workflows than AI access alone. And I'm quoting page 32 of the UN preliminary report. Let me now end with some challenges, but which I missed here, but I will read them just the same. It is important for scholars like us from the Global South to understand how AI may either challenge or reinforce colonialism using
Great.
dominant narratives, training data, and generated content which reflect colonial bias. What I have been always saying, the original fake news comes from archives written by Western scholars who studied Global South, local indigenous communities, write history, etc., using their Western lens, and then preserving them in Western archive. So we have to be very careful about AI, make sure that they do not reinforce colonialism. How do you use AI in discontinuing colonial education? Through language diversity, new alternative knowledge content. Create new content especially by the indigenous communities. These IPs, indigenous communities, should learn to correct, verify content which were provided to us by our colonial masters. There has to be archival reform. We need to look at archival reform. This is Felipe, I feel that this is an area that we have missed in MIL, reforming the archival system, because I have terrible experiences in doing archival research. So I leave there. My PowerPoint would also include the role of local government units, but I would rather have more time for discussion. And finally, later on, I'd like to discuss, if we have time, only if we have time, I would like to go back to what I said earlier. I want to present a case study of economic development, environmental sustainability, and social cohesion. Because the so-called AI hub project in New Clark City here in the Philippines has started. And we're very afraid that it could have negative impact. This project is, of course, as I said, part of the US PAC Silica initiative. 13 countries has agreed to be part of the Silica initiative of Donald Trump. US, Australia, India, Japan, Singapore, Korea, UAE, UK, etc. I think Italy is planning to join also. Unfortunately, the first project that it plans to set up is an AI hub in the Philippines. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Roman Tuzan, for your contribution, your communication. You have shared a very, very accurate information with us today. And quickly, I will give the floor to Professor Felipe to summarize his communication.
Yes, of course. Thanks so much, Professor. I like so much the phrase, the AI is here, it's not the future. Yeah, Professor Ramon. To us, mill competence is the hardcore of mill cities, in my opinion, and of all the vision of media and information literacy. You talk many important things, my friend, and like affective competence is not only cognitive competence. We need other competence. You are, in my opinion, you are very, very right. Do you remember, Mr. Tasson, the UNESCO Mill Competence curricula? We work together with Maya Sarik in this curricula. In my opinion,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
this curricula is, in my opinion, is very important. But we can add a new competence in this curricula. We can propose this to Alton Grizzly, and we together with Maya Sarik and other Professor Emmanuel Comic-Conaco, Oyebanke, and others colleagues work together in this line with AI. With competence at this moment, in this situation with AI, we can propose this for UNESCO. You know?
Thank you.
Please, Professor, talk to you. It's a real honor your presence for us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I like so much
Welcome.
you talk about the governance and the global south. Very important because we got different challenges in the global south. Yeah, and we need to grow together in this line. Thank you so much, Professor.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Professor Felipe. Thank you, Professor Roman, for your communication. We are going to give the floor to our next speaker from Sao Paulo, Brazil, our country. Yes. Yeah, we are going to give the floor to Mrs. Hélène Torres, but before, let me introduce her. Mrs. Hélène Torres is a social scientist and master's candidate in political science at the University of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Her research focuses on democracy, public policy, political participation, and the social impact of digital technology and communication. She is particularly interested in the intersection of governance, digital transformation, and citizen engagement, contributing to academic and policy discussion on the challenge and opportunities of the digital age. Through her academic work, Mrs. Torres combined interdisciplinary perspective from the social science and political science to examine contemporary public issues, supporting evidence-based research and inclusive policy making. She actively participates in research initiatives and academic forums dedicated to strengthening democratic institutions and promoting informed public debate. Mrs. Torres, you have the floor. Yeah, you are muted. Yes, thank you.
One moment.
Yes.
Can everyone sing?
Yes.
Sing. One moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Before I start, I would like to mention that I'm still learning to present in English. So thank you. Thank you very much for your patience. I really appreciate it. First of all, I would like to thank UNESCO and the organizers for the invitation and for the opportunity to present my research today. I'd like to share the results of my research on public management and digital inclusion in new cities. In this presentation, we'll compare São Paulo and Mexico City and discuss how digital governance can support more inclusive, participatory, and informed cities. So let's begin. Before presenting the results, I would like to briefly introduce the UNESCO New Cities Framework. As you can see, this framework is organized into 30 indicators and over 260 metrics. Together, they provide a comprehensive way to evaluate how cities promote media and information literacy, digital inclusion, and citizen participation. One important aspect of this framework is that citizens are at the center. All the indicators are designed to improve people's quality of life and promote more inclusive and sustainable cities. In this study, I focus on the first indicators, which is local government, public institutions, citizenship, and e-governance. And now let's take a closer look at this indicator. This indicator evaluates how cities use digital tools to improve public services, increase transparency, and improve communication with citizens. I selected 5 key metrics, including the availability of online public services, public information access, e-governance systems, participation in city networks, and public Wi-Fi coverage. These metrics were used to compare São Paulo and Mexico City. Here's a quick overview of the methodology. The objective was to compare digital governance and public services in São Paulo and Mexico City. I used a qualitative comparative case study based on secondary data, including government websites, international reports, and media sources. The methodology is based on the work of Robert Yin and Charles Ragan, and so let's move to the next slide. So I'd like to introduce 4 key concepts used in this study. First, MuCities, which promote media and information literacy and active citizenship. Second, public management, which refers to how governments organize and deliver public service. Third, digital inclusion, meaning that everyone should have access to digital technology in the internet. And finally, smart governance, which uses technology to improve public services and encourage citizen participation. These 4 concepts are the basis of my analysis. Let's start with São Paulo. São Paulo is the largest city in Brazil and one of the largest metropolitan areas in the Americas. It is the country's main economic center and a city known for its cultural diversity and innovation. Because of its size and complexity, São Paulo has invested in online public services and initiatives that improve access to information and digital inclusion. São Paulo has invested in digital governance to improve public service and reduce the digital divide. As you can see on the slide, the city has an e-governance platform, public information maps, online public services, participation in international city networks, and a large public Wi-Fi program. These initiatives make it easier for citizens to access information and public services. However, digital inclusion is still challenging, especially in peripheral neighborhoods where access is not yet equal. Now let's move to Mexico City. Mexico City is the capital of Mexico and one of the largest cities in the world. It is an important cultural, political, and economic center with a strong commitment to digital transformation and public services. Like São Paulo, the city has invested in digital inclusion and e-governance to improve access to information and public services. Let's see how Mexico City performed in the 5 indicators. Mexico City has made important investments in digital governance and digital inclusion. As you can see on the slide, the city provides public information maps, a digital governance platform, a high percentage of online public service, participation in global city networks, and a public Wi-Fi program. These initiatives improve access to public services and information for citizens. However, challenges remain, especially in ensuring equal access across all areas of the city. Next, let's compare the results in the 2 cities. And this slide compares the overall results in both cities. Both São Paulo and Mexico City performed very well in digital governance. Mexico City achieved a slightly higher overall score, mainly because it offers a higher percentage of online public services. São Paulo also performed well, especially in transparency, digital mapping, and open government initiatives. Both cities received the maximum score for e-governance, participation in city networks, and public Wi-Fi. Overall, the results show that both cities have made important progress, but digital inclusion still depends on equal access, digital literacy, of course, and effective use of digital public services. Here are the main references used in the study. And thank you very much for your attention. It was a pleasure to share this research with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Hélène Torres, for your communication. You have focused your sharing on public management and digital inclusion in mill cities, and you have highlighted the first indicator of mill cities. And you have compared two cities, Sao Paulo and Mexico cities, where you have analyzed some key concepts: mill city promotion, public management, digital inclusion, and smart governance in these cities. Thank you so much for sharing this result of your field research on what you are doing. Professor Felipe, I'll give you quickly the floor to say one word so we can begin with the
You are right, my friend. I understood. We got no. I haven't. We got haven't time. Thank you so
yeah.
much. Yes. I want to say I supervised your research, Elaine, in my cities. Of course, because she is our student at the
Yes.
University of São Paulo. And Mill City of the Mill Cities discipline or course of the University of São Paulo, and I like it so much of this presentation. In this presentation, it's very important to talk. We got here the system, indicator systems of middle cities with metrics. We work together in this system with Alton Grizzly, me and Arthur Grizzly and our team. It's very important to say that too, because we need metrics and indicators to compare and the comparative research. For example, Manila or Belgrade or and other cities, because with the comparison we see a new vision too. That's very important point. Thank you so much, Elaine, for your presentation.
Thank you so much, Professor Felipe, for your word, your coaching. I see the methodology you have applied. Very interesting. Thank you so much for it. Yes. Okay, now we are going to give the floor to our last speaker, not the small, but the big one from Sao Paulo again, Mrs. Sofia Florencio. Ms. Sofia Florencio is a master's student in clinical psychology at the University of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Her academic interests focus on mental health, psychological well-being, and evidence-based approach to clinical practice. She is particularly interested in the psychological impact of contemporary social and digital environment, contributing to research and discussion that promote mental health, resilience, and quality of life across diverse populations. Through her graduate studies, Mrs. Florencio combined scientific research with clinical perspective to support the advancement of psychology and the development of effective mental health intervention. Mrs. Sofia, you have the floor.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank you all for the opportunity for being here. Okay, I'm just gonna share my slides to present. Okay, and I'll try to keep up with the time. Wait. Let me see. Are you guys seeing my view screen? Wait.
No.
No, right? Okay.
Yes. Now. Oh.
Here?
No, I don't see it.
Okay. More. Wait.
Okay.
Here I go in share, right?
Yes.
Ecrã inteiro, separator, window. Here. Sorry, so I'm sharing.
Okay.
Exhibition.
Here. We need to go to. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Are you seeing my?
Okay. You need to click on the. Yes.
Can you see?
Yes, we see now. Thank you.
Okay. Wait.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Perfect, right?
Yes.
Unfortunately, I'm not gonna see you guys. Let me see. Wait. Here.
Okay.
Now, wait. Now you guys are seeing both screens, right?
Yeah, full screen, and the screen is your presentation is
Okay,
very small.
no good. This is
No.
better.
Yeah, this is better. You need to
Vision,
cancel
okay.
to close the first door. Yes,
Here. Perfect. Okay. Sorry for these problems.
it is not a problem.
So, okay. So, again, good morning, everyone. As you told, my name is Sophia, and I'm gonna talk about my research project related to media informational literacy cities from UNESCO. So the title of this presentation is Understanding the Motivations for Suicide from this perspective of media and information literacy cities UNESCO, a longitudinal clinical case study in light of the phenomenology of life. Okay? So, first of all, the reason why my research project relates with Cities Meal is because it integrates the fourth indicators. There are 13 indicators from Meal Cities, and my project relates to this fourth, health. And to sum up, it's all okay, right? You guys are listening fine, right? So to sum up this concept of Meal Cities, it's also they see how society prepares individuals to live, coexist, to be a part of this environment that is shaped by social media and these new technologies, but also how the individuals can be protagonistic, have action in their societies, have critical thinkings. So here we see we share this vision that we do not live in only a digital world or only physical. We live in a hybrid world where we do things for what we do in the digital world is to reflect on our physical world, and a lot of things that we do in our physical also reflects on the digital, like hobbies, a business, and other subjects. So, but what specifies in one of these examples is, for example, since I study suicide, it's also like the effects on cyberbullying. We all know that it's well known in the literature that suicide has a lot, mainly youth suicide from in young people and teenagers, are related to bullying. Like traditional bullying increase the risk factors, but cyberbullying increases even more because it can take and it can reach a much wider audience, and it can take on bigger proportions, sometimes even out of the states, the city, and sometimes even it can be full time. So understanding how this phenomenon affects the individual, the person, and in society, we can take measures to change, to prevent it. So this is a very important connection. Okay, so I'm going to talk a bit about my methodology of my research project. So it's a qualitative, empirical, and exploratory longitudinal clinical case study with two participants that were treated in this hospital that in the picture. This is the hospital, the university hospital. What I plan on doing is that they receive a lot of cases that people that have tried suicide, and after they being treated in this hospital, while they are in the hospital, I'll talk to them and ask how are them and what's going on, and then offer 6 months of a psychotherapy, where the only exclusion criterion is that they have to live in São Paulo to be able to and to not be a minor. It has to need the person needs to be at least 18 years old, and I'm gonna offer psychotherapy for 6 months. And there are two different profiles. One person needs to have said that they have tried suicide and that they want to try again suicide. And another person needs to have verbalized that they don't want to try again or that they regret. These two different profiles that I'll follow in a psychotherapy. And afterwards, I'm gonna write a field journal and reflect their opinions about life, their commentaries, experience on this philosophy, Michel Henry, that talks about life. So we think that nothing more than we think that the person that killed themselves, that tried to, or the person that is thinking about the reasons to not live, actually they're talking all the time about life. So nothing better than thinking about reflecting life with a philosophy that talks deeply about life itself. Okay. And the idea is that by listening to citizens, and urban health policies can respond to real needs. And also by actually listening to the people that from this community that are living, suffering from some suffering, that we can actually provide right information and give right information about this topic on mental health and understanding their situation, So mainly, I think we have this opinion that's very important to listening to the people that are suffering, for them make something to change. So my time is up. Thank you guys, and I'd love to answer any question that you guys have. So we try to that you people have. So we try to see the individual in this biopsychosocial spiritual being. Okay. I'll try to keep up with the time. I passed 1 minute, but
Oh,
I can.
yeah, thank you
Yeah,
so
more
much.
explanation.
It's good. Yeah, thank you so much, Mrs. Florencio, for your communication, your presentation. You have shared the result of your field research with us, focus on how technological habit can affect our physical body. Thank you so much. And you have highlight the process, your methodology, your practical implementation in hospital, in clinical environment, and the result. Professor Felipe?
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much, Professor Emmanuel Comiconaco. Sofia Florencio is very important. Your vision. We got a practice challenge here. The suicide is a real problem to our young people. Boom, for all the society, and you focus in this point. You got and how we can change this situation. Your research is very important for us. It's a different vision. We got here problems like cyberbullying, for example.
Yes.
Cyberbullying is a real challenge for your for the society, for all, and you focus in this point. Thank you so much for your research and your contribution.
Thank you so much, Professor Felipe. We apologize for the time. We have overpassed the time. And I will give one minute for every speaker to add his final word before we leave the session. Yeah, I will begin with the first Yeah, Dr. Zarik, Maya, you have the floor to share your last word with us before we leave.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank you for the organization of this webinar and for giving us opportunity to present, but also to learn. I thank each one of you for your presentations. I learned a lot today. I was very touched, Sophia, but with your presentation. It was the last, but it was a very fresh perspective for me, what to think about, as cyberbullying is, everywhere. And as my final thought, the technology, it keeps evolving. So I grew up as analog person, like most of us, not all of us, but most of us here today, with dial-up telephone and dial-up internet during 90s. And now we're talking about AI. In 10, 20 years, it will be something else. But the point is that media information literacy, human rights, and ethics, it's what it's going to stay. So thank you very much for the cooperation, and I look forward to our next activity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We cooperation, work together, women rights, may this word still be the principal idea for everyone. Thank you so much for what you do, what you bring every time you meet together. We are here to learn from you. Thank you so much. Yeah, we are going to give the floor quickly to Mrs. Oyebanke for her last word before we leave this session. Is she?
Yes, yes, I'm here. Thank you very much for this session.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that I got the invite because we are just starting our own MIL City project and it's still a pilot. However, I've learned a lot through the different presentation I have had this evening because it's evening here in Nigeria. I'm very grateful. Also, I'm as well grateful to Professor for asking us to reach out that they would willingly, support our ideas and every other thing. Then we can learn from the current MIL cities. Yes, and I agree with artificial intelligence is here. However, it's not the future because we'll always progress. There will be new ideas, and the more we keep learning, the better. Thank you very much for inviting me. That's just the summary. Looking forward to other sessions, other collaboration, other invites. I'm grateful.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Oyebanke. Collaboration forever to grow together. Thank you so much. Yeah, we give the floor to Mr. Ramon Towson from Philippines.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor. When we were young, we remember we're being asked to make a wish. Open the genie bottle. And if the genie goes out, you can make a wish, 3 wishes. The genie is now out of the bottle. And we can no longer put it back inside. That's what AI is right now. However, by equipping people with the appropriate AI and media and information literacy skills, including good mental health, as we have heard, we can ensure that the genie serves humanity rather than the other way around. Thank you very much. In Filipino, we say, maraming salamat po.
Maraming Ramon. Thank you so much, Professor Ramon. We need effectively to appropriate AI competencies and women health in order to continue to grow together, to work together everywhere we are. Thank you so much for sharing this precious
Welcome,
information with us.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Now we are going to give the floor to our next speaker from Brazil. Today we are blessed with three persons from Brazil, especially from Sao Paulo. Yeah, Mrs. Helene Torres, your last word.
Thank you very much for your attention and for the opportunity to present our research today. It has also been a pleasure to learn about the research presented by the other participants. I hope this research contributes to future discussions on digital governance and digital inclusion in new cities. Thank you again, and I wish you all a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye. Your research is valuable for us. As Professor Felipe has said it, we are here together to build from diverse horizons. So you need you to work together and grow together. And we are going to give the floor to Mrs. Florencio, our doctor today.
I'd like to thank you all again one more time. And I'm very happy to listening to those different researches, also because it's very creative the way I'm seeing the research being made, the way we are thinking the society and how to improve and how to change. And it's such a great opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Sofia Flores, for what you have shared with us today. Science, AI, society for well-being in our society. Thank you so much. Professor Felipe, you have the last word before you leave.
In 1 minute, Professor. Okay, my dear friend and colleague, Professor Emmanuel Comiconaco.
Yes.
It's a real honor to be here, of course. I am grateful to all for sharing your knowledge and with us, your knowledge and your time too. We need to share more research and experience like this. We need to formulate indicators and metrics for mill cities. I would like to invite everyone present to contribute to the next book on mill cities that we are preparing with the University of São Paulo and UNESCO Milit. And remember, we are the message. We are the Mill Cities family. Let's grow together.
Thank you so much, Professor Felipe. Thank you so much, Dr. Professor Zarik. Thank you so much, Dr. Roman, Mrs. Hélène Torres, Mrs. Sophia, et Mrs. Erebanke for what you have brought today. We are very happy to work together with you, and we hope for the next meeting you will be together with us in order to continue to share other thoughts, other expertise with us. Thank you so much, and may the light be for us. Thank you.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye to all. Thank you so
Goodbye.
much, Ramon, for your presence. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yarmaya.
Thank you.
I am happy to be here, as and of course your presence, your knowledge. Thank you so much to everybody. Sophia, I
Bye-bye.
love you.
Thank you.
And I love you too.